It's my honor to introduce Haven Pierce, an assistant professor of landscape architecture at UC Davis, and Kevin Perry, principal of urban rain designs. Take it away, team.
Looking beyond individual rain gardens at your residence, there's other green infrastructure techniques that could be employed as well, such as converting your driveway to either a pervious paver condition or just limiting the amount of actual driveway paving that's there. So in the upper left, you've got concrete interlocking pavers, pervious pavement, and then on the upper right, you have pervious concrete that's been poured in a residential application. And then the bottom two, you can see different applications of just limiting the amount of impervious area in driveways. Maybe it's just looking at grass or just a gravel strip. And then if you're looking at concrete patios, maybe converting those over to more of a decking system. You can see there's a beautiful mature tree here, and they've literally formed this deck around the tree. And the nice thing about that is that any sort of rainfall just slips through the cracks in the decking and goes into the ground. In terms of walkways, there's a lot of different products and styles and colors and forms that you could utilize. So here's some eye candy of different examples that you could implement. And then also moving beyond the ground plane and looking at the potential for green roofs, or eco roofs, sometimes they're called, at your house. This is an example of a retrofit in Portland, Oregon, where somebody's converted their garage, or single car garage, into a green roof. And if you look closely, there's some Adirondack chairs on that green roof. So it's a multifunctional space. Okay, and then looking at just a portion of the roof, but you could be really bold. And let's say you are looking at a new home, and you could introduce a new green roof on top of the entire roof. There's a lot of interesting applications, or there's some more whimsical approaches and different scales of residential green roofs that could be applied for that. A lot of different techniques and truly artistic ways to introduce green roofs. Haven, do you have anything else that you want to add with it?
Just that, I mean, the example on the bottom is a green roof doghouse that I did in a class that I was teaching, and then as in a separate class we did green walls. And so just this idea that you can take sheds and bike racks and bird houses and experiment, put some plants on top and see how it does.
In terms of resources, again, moving beyond your individual property and looking at the surrounding community throughout the South Bay, in particular in San Mateo County, there's a great resource that I actually was fortunate to work on called the Green Infrastructure Design Guide through the San Mateo County's Stormwater Water Pollution Prevention Program. And it goes into a lot more technical detail and not just looking at private residents, but streets, buildings, parking lots, and there's a lot of great information above and beyond what we shared today. And I would suggest if you have the time to flip through this interactive manual that's online, you can see the link that's there. And then the last thing I wanted to showcase with the webinar is a program and a group that I've started at UC Davis with the students there. And a lot of the pictures and the examples that have been shown are through this student process called the California Student Leadership in Green Infrastructure, which is a group that basically designs, builds, and advocates for rain gardens and green infrastructure techniques. And we're utilizing a special brand of rain garden or green infrastructure that looks to retrofit spaces very quickly and very inexpensively and in a short amount of time. So within a couple of weeks, we take an existing condition, and transform that space. And I say this because it's an opportunity to, again, have a more community approach to green infrastructure and rain garden construction. And as I go through these next couple of slides, I point this out because maybe you can band with your neighbors. And if you're looking at a rain garden application at your house, maybe you don't have to go it alone. You can have a work party when it's appropriate to do so, even with our pandemic, to be able to utilize the help of your neighbors and introduce green infrastructure. But here's some shots of students working together, UC Davis students, and even high school students working together to create rain garden transformation. You can see this one here is an application of removing lawn and introducing a rain garden, and we only expended about $5,000 of money for that. Here's another example of kind of a before space. And I showed this rain garden within this webinar quite a bit. This is what it looks like today with just $3,300 of expenditure.